Hi, I'm Dennis Phillips, and welcome to Everyday Reloading and Shooting. Right, welcome back to the channel. Today we're back at the Georgia Gun Club's 100-yard indoor rifle range, and in this video I'll be shooting my Sako H4350 Creedmoor rifle. I have just removed the Athlon Talos rifle scope and replaced it with the Vortex from my Tikka T3X. Of course, that rifle was upgraded to the Arken SH4. So today I'm going to get this scope sighted in. I have loaded rounds for the 6.5 Creedmoor with H4350 powder at 40.7 grains each, shooting a Hornady 140 grain ELD match bullet. We'll be shooting at 50 yards to sight it in. Then once I have that done, I'll be shooting some groups with this load at 100 yards. All right, as always, you're welcome to enjoy the music while I fast forward through my shooting, or you can skip forward to the results that follow. Shooting at 100 yards. All right, we had an average velocity here of 2,647 feet per second. That's on 14 shots that I measured. Let's bring them in and take a look. All right, so these were where I actually got on paper. These were my first 10 shots. Several just were not even on paper at all. But that was my last shot out of 10. And then I shot these two groups of 10 each. So these look pretty tight. These were loaded at a 2.179 cartridge based to ogive. And so anyway, we will take these home, measure these with the Hornady ballistics app, and get back to you with the results. Okay, in a previous video, you saw where I placed a new Arken SH4 6-24x50 rifle scope on my Tikka T3X. So I took the Vortex Diamondback that was on there off of it, and I placed that Vortex Diamondback on my 6.5 Creedmoor. It seems to have a better eye box, a little better eye relief, and a little bit easier to use than the Athlon Talos that was on there. I got that scope sighted back in, and then I went back out and I shot two 10-shot groups after that rifle was sighted in. Same load. These are all 40.7 grains of H4350 powder with a 140 grain ELD match bullet. So I shot two 10-shot groups, and they were somewhat similar. The first group here, and I'll show you a close-up of this target along with a screenshot from the Hornady app that we use to measure these. The average point of impact was pretty close to center, shooting a little bit to the left and a little bit low. This red cross is your average point of impact, so we were shooting 0.05 of an inch to the left, so pretty much right on center, and 0.12 inches below the point of aim. But on the first group, we had an extreme spread of 1.13 with a mean radius of 0.37, which is fairly respectable because a radius is half of a circle. And if you double that, then that gives you an average group size of 0.74 inches. And to confirm that, we actually had an area of 0.74 inches because the size of the group was 0.68 tall and 1.08 wide. And if you multiply those two, that gives you an area of 0.73 inches. So shooting a group really under an inch, even though the extreme spread was 1.13 inches, we've got an area of 0.73 and an average group size of 0.74. And on the second target, we were shooting 0.05 to the left of center and 0.07 below the point of aim. The second group was a little more scattered at 1.27 inches. We had a mean radius of 0.3, which gives you an average group size of 0.86. And this was a little more spread out. The group was 1.13 inches tall and 1.27 inches wide. So that gives us an average group size of 1.44. So just about double the other. And I think that's because we have a flyer here at the top and a flyer here at the far left end. And so you take those two out, you've got a much tighter group. And since these were both 2 10-shot groups, we're shooting the same load, the same bullet. I average these, and we have an average extreme spread of 1.2 inches, an average mean radius of 0.4 inches, which gives you an average group size of 0.80 inches, and they covered an area of just over an inch at 1.09. As to the velocity, I only turned on the chronograph when I was part of the way through this first group, but I do have 14 shots at this same load and charge weight to verify the velocity. We had an average velocity of 2,641 feet per second, an extreme spread of 34.6, and we had a standard deviation of 10.2, which is pretty close to what Gavin Tube came up with his 5-shot load development for 6.5 Creedmoor, and he had a 5-shot group at that same charge weight that was 8.2, but here's a picture of that. So at 10.2, I'm pretty pleased with that. All right, so those are my results. I hope you find this information helpful. If you have any ideas, thoughts, suggestions, questions, please leave those in the comments section below. I try to interact with everybody that comments. I hope you will also like, share, and subscribe. And as always, thanks for watching.